Tucker Carlson made an allegation 2 nights ago. He said that the NSA was spying on him. He heard about it from a whistleblower, and they are planning to leak his communications, and they want to take his show off of the air. The NSA, this is really shocking that they would do this. They actually did issue a statement on this. Now, the NSA's statement on Tucker Carlson, first of all, it's pretty strange that the NSA would even comment on this. If a Fox News host or any other news host for that matter makes an allegation, why would the National Security Agency feel obliged to come out and defend itself? Or maybe not defend itself, as you'll see from the missive. Is it because they feel a little guilty? Is it because they know that where there's smoke, there's fire? Is it because they fear what Tucker Carlson has been told? We know, for example, that the NSA has spied on virtually everybody, in the sense that they're collecting huge amounts of data. And the pretext for this is they want to make sure that they monitor foreign governments and people who have business affairs with foreigners. So they're collecting all of this data. Tucker Carlson says, no, they're specifically looking at my stuff. So here is the NSA's denial. Pay attention to the wording here. On June 28th, 2021, Tucker Carlson alleged that the National Security Agency has been, quote, monitoring our electronic communications and is planning to leak them in an attempt to take this show off the air. This allegation is untrue. Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency, and the NSA has never had any plans to try to take his program off the air. Next paragraph. NSA has a foreign intelligence mission. We target foreign powers to generate insights on foreign activities that could harm the United States. With limited exceptions, for example, an emergency, NSA may not target a U.S. citizen without a court order that explicitly authorizes the targeting. Now, if you're not paying attention to words, there's a great book out right now about how we need to be really precise about our language, and it's actually on the charts this week. It's charted. We'll get into that a little bit later. The book is called Speechless: Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. Thank you to those who have ordered it. If you're not paying close attention to words, you might say, okay, they're denying it, right? Not so fast. In their own denial, they point out that Tucker has made 3 allegations. The NSA is monitoring his communications. The NSA is planning to leak them. The NSA is doing so in an attempt to take the show off the air. Now, the NSA specifically says, this allegation is untrue. Which allegation? There are 3 allegations. If you say this allegation is untrue, then you're lumping them all together. So you're saying, no, we're not monitoring your communications and planning to leak them in order to take your show off the air. So if any single part or even 2 parts of that broad allegation could be true, and the NSA could still not be lying by saying this allegation is untrue. Let's say that they are monitoring Tucker and they're planning to leak them, but it's not to take his show off the air. Well, then that allegation's not true. Let's say they're monitoring Tucker, but they don't really plan to leak them or take his show. Okay, well, then that allegation is not true. Even further, what they say is Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency. They're not saying they've never spied on him. They're not saying that they're not spying on him right now. They're saying they're not targeting him. Maybe they're targeting someone that he's speaking to. And oops, whoopsie daisy, I guess Tucker's communications are coming through as well. To me, and they look at how many times they use the word target. Never been a target of the agency. They may not target a U.S. citizen without an order that authorizes the targeting. Why are they using that language? The people who are doing this, the spies, the spooks, they're actually pretty sophisticated. I don't know if you ever heard about that. And people whose job it is to deceive are actually pretty good at deceiving. If they were not spying on Tucker, I bet they would say that. I bet they would actually just come out and say it. If they were not either monitoring him or planning to leak that and/or planning to take his show, trying to take his show off the air, I think they would say that. I think they would say these allegations are untrue. Tucker has never been surveilled by the NSA. Tucker is not. To me, reading this, it is quite clear that the NSA is in fact conducting surveillance that involves Tucker Carlson, and They may or may not be planning to leak it, and I'm sure plenty of people at the NSA want to take a show off the air because he's an actual threat to them. Jen Psaki was asked about this. This is further evidence that the NSA is obviously looking into Tucker Carlson. Jen Psaki at the White House was asked about this, and she refused to deny it.
Tucker Carlson said that the NSA is spying on him. Is the administration aware of any espionage or listening efforts on U.S. citizens by the NSA, and is Tucker Carlson one of them?
Well, the NSA, as I think you're well aware, I'm sure everyone's aware, everyone on this plane is aware, I should say, is an entity that focuses on foreign threats and individuals who are attempting to do us harm on foreign soil. So that is their purview, but beyond that, I would point you to the intelligence community.
What? Oh man, it's like, if you're gonna deceive people, at least be like the person at the NSA. Don't be like Jen Psaki, who doesn't even really try, or doesn't even come close to succeeding. Hey, is the NSA spying on Tucker Carlson? Well, the NSA is, it's a three-letter word. It stands for National Security Agency. It's got employees. Some of them have pensions. And so, okay, I feel like I've answered your question. What? No, I didn't ask what is the NSA. I said, is the NSA spying on Tucker Carlson? Well, the NSA, and what they're trying to deflect to is they're saying, the NSA focuses on foreign threats. So, what's the implication? Tucker is colluding with the Russians or the Ukrainians or whatever. Or anybody. This is the same old story. Same stuff, different day. The reason that the federal government had to spy on the Trump campaign, had to spy on its political opponents, is because they were colluding with the Russians. Okay, well, where's the proof? What crime did they commit? Well, none. They conducted a several years long, millions and millions of dollars spent to just try to prove anything. Like, they got him right. There's got to be some connection. Trump ate borscht one time a few years ago. They didn't even have that. They didn't even have that, but that's the excuse. We have to make sure he talked to his falafel cart driver down the street. He's talking to a foreigner. Got to get him. Pretty clear. Unless the NSA and the White House can do better than this, I think the only conspiracy theory is that the NSA is not spying on Tucker Carlson. They've all but admitted that. Just dodging the question. Hold up. Glad you liked that video. Go check out the whole episode. It's right here. It's called Pay No Attention to the Man Behind the Curtain. You can also get it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, all the places for your audio podcast. And most importantly of all, after you like and subscribe and leave a comment, you can go order my book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. It's the #1 book in civil rights right now. I am the #1 civil rights leader in the country. Go check it out. I'll see you next time.